Reconvene the Parker Town Council meeting at 7:13 p.m. All council members have signed in. All council members are present with the exception of Councilwoman Cheryl Pogue, who is out of town. Do we have anyone under the age of 18 in the audience? Look through, oh, we have, come on down. Come on down. Under 18, you get to come on down. Yep. Come on down. Debbie was going to raise her hand that she was under 18, so.
If you divide
How old are you,
it
dear?
by 4,
I'm 14.
14, what's your name?
Delaney Huff.
Delaney, come on down, Delaney. So Delaney's going to lead us in the most important part of tonight's meeting, and that's honoring our nation with the Pledge of Allegiance. So we're all going to turn around and face the flag, and everyone's going to get really quiet, and they're going to wait to hear you start to say the pledge. Once you start, we'll all join in. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Delaney, the floor is yours.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Give Delaney a big round of applause. Look at that. Fantastic. Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Delaney.
All right. I can say that Delaney rocks at the best Pledge of Allegiance I've heard today. All right, next up, we've got special presentations. Council, would you just indulge me for a sec? I'm going to take a step down here real quick. I mentioned Valentine's Day a little bit ago, which is kind of a cool thing, you know, whether you think it's a made-up holiday by Hallmark or not. It's time to celebrate love and what relationships mean to each other. We are in the presence of greatness tonight, people. I don't know if you realize that, and it's not just because John Dyke is sitting up here, but it's because we've got a couple individuals in our audience today who have not only been 51-year residents of the town of Parker, but will be in day after tomorrow celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. Now, come down here for a second, Rob is not celebrating his 60th wedding anniversary, but I actually voted for Rob when I first moved to Parker forever ago. Rob Tinnis used to be one of our town council members here in Parker. Besides being a snazzy dresser and having the second best beard in the room. Just saying, with the leather.
But the grayest.
But the grayest, yeah, give me a little bit longer. We're here to celebrate, and I've got, I'm going to ask for these two young timers to come up. Dwayne and Sylvia, would you come up here? Watch this up there. Yes, perfect. So, Dwayne and Sylvia, in honor of you guys, in recognition of your 60th wedding anniversary and 51 years as active residents of the town of Parker, I've got a certificate recognizing you guys as the two coolest people in the Congratulations, young man. Congratulations, young lady. But I apologize. I'm going to steal a hug from this pretty lady. That's my mayor's prerogative to do that right there. So, certificate for you. Rob, did you have anything you wanted to let everybody know?
Don't hurt me.
Do I got to be your bodyguard now? I got to.
No, that's why I got Kenny up there.
Exactly. You never know, right? No, but truthfully, in honor of you guys, congratulations. And a good example of what love means over the time and over the years. So, congratulations. Now they're leaving. They're like, we out. We got the certificate.
Let's go to Chili's.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, how'd you get them here?
What's that?
Did they know about this?
Well, they knew about this. They didn't know about this.
That.
Yeah, that's why I specifically asked Kenny to show up.
So I see how quick she's running out the door.
that's a great picture.
All right. So next up, we've got our Parker Chamber of Commerce updates. Now, I know Dennis is not available tonight, so we're going to go ahead and skip over that. And the next item we have up is public comment. This is a general public comment for items that are not currently on our agenda. If you're here for an item on our agenda, there'll be an opportunity for public comment at that time. There's a 3-minute time limit for public comment. You're going to see there's a clock above me. I've got one on the back wall over there that has 3 minutes. When it gets down to 0, I will politely thank you for your time and then invite the next guest up. Again, these are for items not currently on our agenda, and no action will be taken at this time. With that, public comment open at 7:17, and I think Delaney is here for public comment, right? Yeah. Kind of? All right, so name and address for the record, and then after your name and address, the timer will start.
Greg Huff, 11978 Ramble Lane. On April 23, 2018, my 13-year-old daughter was walking home from school in the Idlewild neighborhood. She was crossing the street in the crosswalk when she was struck by a vehicle. She sustained major injuries from this collision. Parker Police responded to investigate, and lead crash investigator Officer Casey Cashman was assigned the case. In review of Officer Casey Cashman's report, I saw that he lied in 2 areas of the report. He lied about there not being damage to the front end of the vehicle, and he lied about the statements a witness made, and that was the lone independent witness. In a case with little evidence, this was extremely important to the outcome of the investigation. I believe the motives for these lies were based on 2 parts. One, the police department was unaware my daughter was in a crosswalk. Officer Cashman, along with numerous other members of the police department, were unaware of the definition of a crosswalk in the Colorado Revised Statutes. And 2, they felt it was easy to blame a teenage girl and characterized her as a kid not paying any attention and walking into the street, even though the driver was on his cell phone and wasn't looking where he was going. I believe Officer Cashman lied in his report to support his theory of how the collision occurred, even though my daughter had the right-of-way. I reported this to Parker Police Chief David King, and he refused to investigate the allegations. I then requested a meeting with Town Administrator Michelle Cavala, and she refused to meet with me. Her reasoning was that I had threatened to sue the city or the town, and that was untrue. I haven't been making any threats. I then reported this to Town Councilman Joshua Rivero and received no response from him. Mr. Mayor, this is an allegation of corruption within the Parker Police Department that has to be taken seriously. It is highly unlikely that this is the only time Officer Cashman has lied in a report, especially based on the lack of response from management. The police department is unable to police themselves. The town is in need of an independent monitor to review the complaints that come into the police department. So, Mr. Mayor, I am again requesting that this complaint be investigated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Greg. If you could do me one favor, Greg, since you're at the end of it here, if you could leave your email address with Carol over here at our town clerk, and then I'll follow up with you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, next up for public comment. Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment at 7:20 PM and move on to reports, items, and comments from mayor and council. Josh, do you have anything?
I left my notes in the other room. I attended the legislative briefing for CML, Colorado Municipal League, looking at the bills that are on the table for the State House. There are a few that are on the table looking at that would impact cities and towns. As everybody knows, we have, I realize I'm not on the record, sorry. There we go. We have a new leadership down in Denver, so they're looking at things to be done a little bit differently as it's been done in the past. So we'll see where they go. A lot of them are at monitoring status right now. There's a few supports, and there's already a few that have died, and there are definitely a few that we object to as a CML. So we'll see where it goes.
Okay. Jeff?
Attended 2 liaison sessions, one last week with the PD, with Councilman Dyak, and heard a lot of new programs about the new cadets, new stuff going on over there. And today we met, Councilman Rivero and I met with communications, and we actually got to see the state of the town. So we're sworn to secrecy.
7th, yeah. I
If you
saw it
have a
today,
chance
too.
to view it online, it's pretty cool.
When it comes up.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you haven't bought your tickets, State of the Town, last Wednesday of the month.
There's your last plug.
There he is. Renee?
We had a town council retreat that I was unable to attend, and for that retreat, we all had to take this assessment, which had lots of math questions. It was really interesting having math questions on an assessment about us.
ACT, SAT, kinda.
But anyways, I met with Employers Edge and got the results of my assessment, so if anybody wants to know more stuff about me, I'll share my results with them.
She can't add. She can't know.
Yeah.
Debbie?
I don't like reading problems, but I did well on those. I had no meetings this past week.
Okay. John?
Thank you. I attended the E470 board meeting. A couple items of note. E470 is going to buy concrete barriers, I guess, for their additional projects, capital projects. It's a money-saving venture. Volume growth is up 5%. The increase of express toll versus license plates are a good thing because it reduces labor. And they're going to go out for a bond refinancing, which will hopefully achieve a 2004 board goal of level debt in 2020. So that is all.
Okay. Only thing I have is just a bit of an announcement. You can go to parkerrotary.org and purchase your tickets for the State of the Town address, which will be happening a week from tomorrow at Vehicle Vault. It's a during the day event, so it's 11:30 to like 1 o'clock, depending on how long they let me talk. And I'll be giving an update on status of the town for the last year, and then also announcing the 2019 Parker Mayor's Challenge, which nobody knows what it is yet because it's a secret. So you got to come and get it. Josh, you had one other thing?
Yeah, one more thing I forgot. Jeff and I learned, maybe Jeff already knew, the Parker Rec Department has its own app. And as we've seen the last week or so with some power outages and whatnot, the field out or the Park Rec Center had to close. The app will send you push notifications. If your class is canceled, if the rec center has to close, if whatever's going on, it will let you know. So you don't have to sit there and monitor Facebook. You don't have to show up to an empty building. So I suggest going out and get it. It's parkerrec.com. It's on both Apple and Android.
Okay, all right. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move to consent. Let's see. Next item up is our consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine, will be enacted with one motion and one vote unless an item has been asked to be removed for further discussion. So council, I'll entertain discussion or a motion on consent agenda items 6A through 6F.
I move to approve items 6A through 6F.
Second.
Motion from Josh and a second from Debbie. And this is the point where I'm told that I need to slow down. Slow down while the computer starts thinking, and in a few seconds, council, a little box is going to appear on your computer screen. When that little box appears, you're going to choose your vote. I'm talking slowly now. Oh, I see a box over there. So please vote. And then if everything does right, magically, there should be something popping up above us here in a second or somewhere. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see, what does it say? Jeff, what do you think it's going to say? Sitting on the edge of your seat.
Go 5-0.
Oh, look at that. All right, motion passes 5-0. You know, you might have bought your ticket for your full seat, but you only need the edge tonight because this is exciting stuff. Next up is number 7. This is our public hearings. Come on, people. This is what happens. This is what happens. All right, 7, this is public hearing. The first one up is Lot 1A, Main Street Center First Amendment, Site Plan Amendment for the Schoolhouse Plaza and Parking Lot. Carolyn, you're going to lead us down the path tonight.
Uh-oh.
Be prepared.
Good evening, Mayor and Town Council, Commissioner or Councilmember Toberg. It's the first time I've come before you. Welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
This evening, we will be reviewing a site plan amendment proposal for the Schoolhouse Plaza and parking lot at the Main Street Center in the historic downtown area of Parker. All public notice requirements for this project have been satisfied. The site is located on the south side of Main Street between Pikes Peak Drive and the east intersection of Victorian Drive. The town of Parker has been pursuing a phased approach to the renovation of the former Main Street Center, which is now known as the Schoolhouse. The previous phases have included the renovation of the original historic school building and the more recent non-historic annex and theater building behind the school. The final phase is the creation of an outdoor plaza between Ruth Memorial Chapel and the schoolhouse, as well as the renovation of the existing parking lot. This site plan has been developed jointly with a number of town departments, including the Cultural Department, Community Development, Public Works, and Parks and Recreation. The proposed improvements will create an outdoor plaza for use by residents, visitors, and patrons of the schoolhouse. The proposed parking lot improvements will incorporate greater landscaping compliance and correct existing drainage issues throughout the site. This proposal includes 3 components: the creation of a public plaza, the rebuilding and renovation of the associated public parking lot, and the provision of a safe and efficient pedestrian network throughout and across the development. The area shown here in blue is directly adjacent to Main Street and contains the Main Street access that was closed in 2016. Since that time, this area has been used for a variety of community and cultural events. The design of the plaza also includes a widened sidewalk and landing in front of Ruth Chapel, shown here in the green, improving the pedestrian connectivity within the development. This amendment will also reconfigure and rebuild the public parking lot, shown here in orange, which has existing drainage issues as well as deterioration due to age. A pedestrian walkway from Pikes Peak Avenue into the site, combined with a walkway and pickup area along the south side of the theater, will improve the pedestrian network through and within the development. Pikes Peak Avenue will remain the access for the site, but future cross-access for the vacant lot to the east has been accommodated in the parking lot design. Little arrow there showing you. The 2035 master plan identifies this area as the Main Street Master Plan Character Area. This character area is defined as a pedestrian-friendly environment with an emphasis on great public spaces and for creating a sense of place and connectivity between spaces and places. The design of the plaza creates a unique character for the area through the use of hardscape, landscaping, public art, and street furnishings. The proposed plaza will accommodate both public events and private gatherings and will complement the educational and entertainment-related activities of the theater, the schoolhouse, and Ruth Chapel. This proposed site plan amendment is consistent with the 2035 master plan. The Main Street Master Plan includes goals to create a sense of arrival and place. A specific goal recommends for the Main Street Center a specific recommendation for the Main Street Center is the redesign of the existing access drive as an attractive and pedestrian-oriented landscape or entry feature for the adjacent Main Street Center and Chapel. The proposed plaza entrance invites the Main Street pedestrian to explore the place created by the plaza and encourages interaction with the educational and entertainment opportunities of the schoolhouse complex. This proposal is consistent with the Parker Main Street Master Plan. In addition, this proposal meets all the applicable sections of the commercial, industrial, and multifamily design guidelines, which emphasize sensitivity to adjacent uses and creative placemaking design, as well as providing a safe and efficient pedestrian and vehicular network. This proposal will convert the area between the schoolhouse and Ruth Chapel into a public space and will introduce pedestrian improvements along Main Street that will formalize the closure of the Main Street access into the site. It will also correct existing drainage issues on site and replace the deteriorating public parking. The proposal directly addresses the recommendation for the area in the Main Street Master Plan and will provide an amenity to downtown and the community. At a hearing on January 24th, 2019, the Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of the Main Street Center site plan amendment. Staff also recommends that Town Council approve the site plan amendment to Main Street Center, Amendment 1, Lot 1A, for the Schoolhouse Plaza and parking lot. And that completes staff's presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you very much. Council, do you have any questions? No. Okay, no? No? Seeing none, we'll open it up for public comment at 7:32 p.m. If there's anyone here to address council on this item. Seeing none, we'll close public comment at 7:32 p.m. and I'd entertain further discussion or a motion, please.
I just wanted to state, it was a couple years ago, I guess, we were getting done with the schoolhouse, and I went and sat across the street at David's building on a bench, and I looked over at our newly done schoolhouse and beautiful Ruth Memorial Chapel, and other than the swans and a creatively painted trash can, there was this space in the middle, and it just was this void, and it took away from the beauty of both the chapel and what we did to return the schoolhouse back. And I just think that this is the final culmination. I am so sorry, sir, but I forgot your name. I truly appreciate your work and your vision on this.
My
Mike Gasper.
Mike, that's right, sorry. So I think this is the final step. It's going to really, really add to Main Street as a whole, and I'm glad we're finally here. With that, I move to approve, based upon staff findings, the site plan amendment to Lot 1A, Main Street Center, First Amendment to renovate the existing parking area behind the schoolhouse and reconfigure the area between Ruth Memorial Chapel and the schoolhouse to provide a permanent public gathering space with street furnishing similar to those shown on the submitted sample board.
Second.
Motion by Josh and a second by Debbie. Council, in a few seconds, that little box is going to come visit you again. You're going to say, "Hi, little box, how are you?"
And
I'd sure like to click one of the buttons on that little
I
box.
think they're egrets,
And when that little,
not swans.
you go, oh, there's that little box and it's saying, "Hi, click something on me here." There we go. And let's see what happens. Let's get wild and crazy and
Uh-oh. It's back. Here it comes.
We got
Hey, there we go. Motion passes unanimously. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Carolyn, what's the time frame for this project?
Well, I think they hope to get going.
Yesterday, you wanted to bring a
Yeah.
shovel?
You know, I think we're gonna probably look at April.
It's only money.
Here comes Chris.
Chris can probably be more specific.
They hope to start in April and get done this fall.
Thanks, sir.
The parking lot work will be done in 2 different phases, and that's why the reasons it's taking as long as it will, because we have to keep part of the parking lot open for the businesses and also the Main Street, schoolhouse center.
Because
So-
my only concern is with Parker Days coming in the summer, that's where all the merchants are parking, and that's, so
We-
we're not gonna be closed during that
We,
time, right?
we've relayed that to the chamber,
Okay,
that this parking lot's not gonna be available. We'll shut down during construction, but it is, as it is today, will not be available during Parker Days. So,
All right. Next item up is item number 8. This is ordinance number 1.528 on second reading. This is a bill for an ordinance to approve the 2019 Memorandum of Understanding by and between Sungate Kids and agencies and jurisdictions in the 18th Judicial District concerning the provision of child advocacy services for abused children. Although your document says Police David King, guess what? We've got the A-team with us tonight.
You got a proxy tonight. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Commander Ken Lavelle, for those that don't know me, I think there may only be one. So, this ordinance is a second reading. You've already had this once before, but the bill is for the 2019 Memorandum of Understanding with Sungate. Sungate is a nonprofit child advocacy agency serving the 18th Judicial District, which is Arapahoe, Douglas, Lincoln, and Albert counties. The current memo of understanding is about ready to expire and just needs to be replaced. So the background of Sungate is their huge thing is that they do the forensic interviews. These are special interviews that most investigators can't do because it takes additional schooling, and it's provided throughout the whole 18th Judicial District. Financial impact is nothing to the town of Parker. This is solely funded by outside funds, including the State Bill 11232, which was created for the Child Abuse Investigation Surcharge. So staff is recommending that the approval for this, and we get it put in place so we can start using their services again.
All right, Ken, thank you very much. Council, do you have any questions for Ken? Before he runs off, look at that, make them hard ones. Math questions, stuff like that, no?
Yeah.
All right, seeing none, we're going to go ahead and open it up for public comment at 7:36 PM if there's anyone here wishing to address council on this item. I see a few, new faces in the audience. You guys aren't going to come up for this and give Ken some good questions, no? All right. We're going to close public comment at 7:37 PM, and I'll entertain further discussion or a motion, please.
I move to approve ordinance number 1.528 on second reading.
Second.
That's a motion from Debbie and a second from Renee. So council, go ahead and focus your eyes on that computer screen right in front of you right now. Just a few moments, you're going to feel a nice feeling as that little box comes up and says, "Hey there, council member. Hey, Jeff Toborg, how are you doing? Would you like to click a little button?" There's that box right there. Go ahead and click that button
And save.
and hit save.
$1 to trade these with the units.
All right, click the button and hit save. And in just a few moments, we're going to be wowed by the. Here we go. Don't. Look, The tension. There it is. Yes. And that motion passes unanimously tonight. With no further business before council, we're going to head and adjourn at 7:37 p.m. Have a good evening, everybody.